You just got paid. That amazing feeling when the direct deposit hits, right? You check your account, ready to celebrate a month of hard work. But wait, where did all the money go? You see the gross amount, and then you see the net. Ouch. Taxes, Social Security, insurance. It feels like a huge chunk of your earnings just vanished into thin air before you even had a chance to touch it. Ever wonder who decides these numbers? Or where that money actually goes? It's like there's this invisible system quietly pulling the strings on our finances. A system we're all part of but few of us truly understand. From the moment you earn it to the moment you spend it, your money is on a journey controlled by forces you might not even be aware of. What if I told you the story of your paycheck is just the beginning of a much larger, hidden financial world? Let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on with our money. The first thing that happens when you earn money is taxes. You work, you get paid, and the government takes a portion. It sounds annoying, but in theory, taxes exist for a reason. That money is used to build roads, fund schools, run hospitals, maintain police and emergency services, and even fund the military. There are different kinds of taxes. Income tax, this hits the money you earn. Sales tax, this hits the money you spend. Capital gains tax, this hits the money your investments make. There's also Social Security. Think of it as the government forcing you to save money for retirement. And Medicare, which helps support healthcare for older people and people with serious medical conditions. The funny part is this: the government usually already knows exactly how much tax you owe, but they still make you calculate and file it yourself. If you're right, everything is fine. If you're wrong, you might have a problem. Ever wondered how banks seem to create money out of thin air? It's not magic, it's a system called fractional reserve banking, and here's how it works in under 70 seconds. Imagine you deposit $100 into your bank account. The bank is required to keep a fraction of that, say $10, as a reserve. This is to make sure they have cash on hand if you or others want to make withdrawals. Now, what about the other $90? The bank doesn't just let it sit there. They lend it out to someone else, maybe for a car loan or a small business startup. That borrower then spends the money, and whoever receives it likely deposits it into their bank. And the cycle repeats. That new $90 deposit means the bank can keep $9 in reserve and lend out the remaining $81. This process multiplies the initial deposit throughout the economy, effectively expanding the money supply. It's the engine that fuels economic growth by making capital available for investment and spending. Imagine you borrow $1,000. Later, you have to pay back $1,200. The extra $200 is called interest. Simply put, interest is the rent you pay for using someone else's money. There are two main types: simple interest and compound interest. Compound interest is where things get powerful, because interest starts earning interest. If you're in debt with compound interest, a small mistake can turn into a financial disaster. A $12 burrito bought on a credit card could turn into $50 if you keep delaying payments. But if you're investing with compound interest, your money can grow incredibly fast. $100 becomes $200, then $400, and keeps growing. That's why interest can be either your worst enemy or your best employee. One day you buy a bag of chips, you open it, and it looks like someone already ate half of it, but the price is 30% higher than before. Welcome to inflation. Inflation is when money slowly loses value over time. $5 today can't buy as much as $5 10 years ago. Inflation happens for many reasons. Sometimes there's too much money in the economy, sometimes production costs increase, sometimes supply chains break down, and sometimes people simply expect prices to rise, so they spend more now. A little inflation around 2% per year is considered normal, but when inflation spikes, savings start losing value quickly. Ever feel like the economy is hitting the brakes? All of a sudden, you hear about companies laying off workers, businesses cutting back on spending, and the stock market taking a nosedive. When this happens, it's often called a recession. So, what exactly is it? A recession is usually defined as a period when the economy shrinks for at least 6 months in a row. This can be triggered by a few things, like high interest rates, making it expensive to borrow money, a major global crisis, a war, or even a pandemic. Sometimes, it's just a natural part of the economic cycle. Think of the economy like a huge party. For a while, everyone's having a great time. Money is flowing freely. But eventually, the music has to stop. People start checking their bank accounts, and the party winds down. Hey, did you know there's a secret 3-digit number that quietly runs your financial life in many countries? It's called your credit score. This score usually goes from 300 to 850. Think of it like a financial report card. The higher your score, the easier it is to get approved for loans, like for a car or a house. But if your score is low, you'll likely face higher interest rates, which means you pay more over time. So, what makes this number go up or down? It's all about your financial habits. Things like if you pay your bills on time, how much of your credit card limit you're using, how long you've had your accounts, and how many loans you have. But here's the most interesting part. Your credit score doesn't care how rich you are. It only measures one thing: how trustworthy you are with borrowed money. Here's the strange thing about money. It doesn't actually have intrinsic value. A dollar bill is just paper. It only has value because people believe it does. In reality, there isn't much difference between paper money, digital money, or even cryptocurrency. They all work because society agrees they have value. Money is basically a shared belief system. Have you ever noticed how the price of everything seems to go up over time? That's inflation, and it's slowly eating away at the value of your hard-earned money. So, what's the best way to fight back? The answer is investing. Investing is all about making your money work for you. Instead of just trading your time for a paycheck, you put your money in a position where it can generate even more money all on its own. Some common ways to do this are through stocks, bonds, index funds, or even real estate. Here's the secret. Most wealthy people didn't get rich overnight. They simply started investing early and gave their money enough time to grow through the power of compounding. It's a powerful strategy that anyone can start. At the center of all money is value. Imagine you pick up a rock. It's just a rock. But if it's rare, shiny, and yellow, suddenly it becomes gold. The object didn't change. What changed was how humans value it. Money flows toward value. If you create something valuable for many people, you can earn a lot of money. Taxes, banks, interest, inflation, recessions, investing. All of these things form the financial system of the world. You may not notice it, but it affects every dollar you earn. And understanding this system is the first step towards stopping working for money and starting making money work for you.